The best time to start thinking about getting a baby seat is before your baby is born, so that you can have it ready for your baby's first journey. You can get an idea of what seats are available by looking in shops, manufacturers' catalogues and websites. Some child seat manufacturers have customer helplines. You can call to ask what seats are likely to fit your car. And your car manufacturer may recommend suitable seats. You can also get advice from your local council's road safety officer or from RoSPA's child car seat website. When you're ready to buy a seat, make sure that you go to a reputable retailer who can offer help and advice, and try to find one who will let you, or better still, help you try a seat in your car before you buy it. It's a good idea to call the shop first to make sure that their trained staff are available when you arrive. Wow, this does look all pretty confusing, and actually it's really hard to know where to start. But luckily I've got expert Daniel with me here today. Hello Daniel,
Hello.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming to help me out. Now Daniel is a child seat specialist here at Mothercare, and you are here to help, which is brilliant.
That's right.
Now first of all, what do parents need to think about when they're choosing their first baby seat?
Well, when they're choosing the first baby seat, you need to consider that the child can't support its own head within the seat. And so we need to be supporting the head, the neck and the spine.
Sure.
And that's why we're going to place the child rearward facing in the car.
Something like this, I guess.
That's right.
Sure.
This is a Group 0+ seat and is suitable from birth for 13 kilograms.
Sure, what age is that?
Well, that's approximately 12 to 15 months.
Okay, so does that mean the child seat needs to be swapped at that age?
Not necessarily. It's actually the weight that's the deciding factor, not the age.
Right.
But it's best to keep the child rearward facing for as long as possible.
Sure. But what if their little head is going above the seat?
Well, if their head's moving past the seat, then the seat's no longer suitable. So you need to get a larger rearward facing seat
Sure.
or a combination seat.
Right.
However, it is important to remember that actually where the legs are on the seat isn't relevant. If they're coming over or bending over, that isn't a determining factor.
Okay, so what is so special about the combination seat?
Well, the combination seat will sit rearward facing up to 13 kilograms and then go on forward facing to 18.
Oh, that's brilliant. Are there any other types of seats?
Well, there are also ISOFIX car seats which actually fit into the car using the ISOFIX bars. And this is much safer because it's much harder to fit the car seat in correctly. Before you come to make your purchase, you should check that you have ISOFIX bars in the car and that you have a suitable car seat in store.
Okay, anything else the parents should be looking out for?
Well, you should be looking to check that the car seat has been checked to the right safety specification. You're looking at the E mark underneath the car seat, which shows an international standard.
Okay, and of course if someone else is carrying your child, perhaps their grandparents, does it need to be fitted in their cars as well?
Yes, definitely. Wherever you're putting your child in the car, you should always check that the car seat is fitting correctly.
Okay, brilliant. Now, looking at this, I'd say this one would be great for our little baby. Can we take this one
Yeah,
out to have it
definitely, let's do
fitted?
that.
Excellent. Let's go outside
Thank
with
you.
that one. So the first thing we need to decide is where to put the seat, whether we put it in the back or the front. I'm guessing the back.
Yeah, definitely. You should always try and put your car seat in the back of the car because that's the safest place for it to be.
Sure.
And especially in the middle if you can. It'd be really good if you had a 3-point seat belt in the middle because then most car seats use a 2-point lap belt, but you would have to check that before you try to fit it in.
Do you pop them in the middle like that so if you were in a collision, the child's less likely to get injured?
That's right, especially a side impact collision because around 25% of accidents will be a side impact. And this way, anything protruding inwards in the car, the child's safest because they're away from the danger zones at the side.
I see. And the front, you wouldn't go for the front because of airbags?
Definitely, yeah. You should never put a child restraint in the front of the car with an active airbag. You should either turn it off yourself if that's possible or contact the manufacturer, but preferably we'd always rather you have the seatbelt in the back of the car.
Sure, because I suppose it is actually illegal, isn't it, to put the child's seat in the front, because I'm guessing the seat is so close to the dashboard, if they were in a collision, the airbag would go off straight
That's
into
correct.
baby.
If it was forward facing, it would force into the baby. If it was an infant carrier, it would actually force the carrier upwards, so it's very dangerous.
Okay then, let's get a seat fitted in here. Let's try this one, please, Daniel.
Okay, so to start with the infant carrier must always face rearwards. It must never face forwards in the car.
Okay.
And you should try and get the base as squarely on the bottom of the seat as possible. So most of the base is flat there, as you can see on the seat. You're also looking to have the seat as equal as possible, so it's not dipping too low or going too high. It'll make it more comfortable for the baby, and this way we just get a better position on the seat. And we also need to look at where the handle position is. It'll be demonstrated on the side on your instructions and also in the instruction manual. For this one, it's going to stay up.
Because some of them you do lie them flat, don't you?
That's right, you do, and there'll be a specific reason for that. Okay,
so follow the instructions.
Definitely, yep. So we'll put this in now. So we'll extend the seat belt out to its full length. This will make it easier to fit it in. bring the actual buckle up here and put the two parts of the seatbelt together. And this
Sure.
will just make it easier for us when we're putting it in. I'm just going to stand up here and actually place the buckle in the buckle housing to get that part of the insulation out of the way. And then following the blue route guides, which are the standard universal colour for this car seat, there'll be arrows normally on the side here. We're just going to pop the lap part of the belt in the two sort of hook places here.
Sure.
Then take the shoulder part of the belt around the back without moving the seat, keeping it in that same position, especially because normally baby will be in here.
Yeah.
And then placing it in again on the blue guides around the back of the seat. When you've got it here, all you need to do now is hold this part of the seat and pull to tighten and remove any slack from the seat.
Sure.
You may find that you get a natural twist at this part, which is okay, but otherwise there should be no twisting around the seat.
Okay, that looks very safe.
Now, to test the seat, you can practice by putting some weight towards the back of the seat when the child isn't in it. But if you've got the baby in like we would have today, all you need to do is place your hands on, push forward, check there isn't too much movement,
Sure.
that the seatbelt is nice and tense. And this way it's imitating where the baby's weight is going if an impact was to occur.
Sure.
The other thing to consider is actually the length of the seatbelt. Now, in this case, the seatbelt length is fine, that's where it's fitting, but it may not always be long enough. Now, instead of trying to adjust the seat to get it to fit, what you need to do is actually consult the instructions and see if there's another route guide that you can follow, which will make the shorter seatbelt fit. If not, unfortunately, it won't be suitable for your car.
Okay.
The other thing to consider is buckle crunch.
And what's that?
Buckle crunch is where the buckle is being held against the hard part of the seat, and it's actually where the buckle is holding the seat down as opposed to the webbing. Now, on an impact, this could cause the buckle housing to shatter and therefore come apart, and that's why it's so dangerous. And you must always make sure that the webbing is holding the car seat down and not the plastic part of the buckle.
Okay.
If it is, unfortunately, the car seat won't be suitable.
Okay, good advice, thank you. Well, it all looks very cosy in here. Let's have a look at this seat now with the baby in it.
Okay, no problem. Well, firstly, we're looking at the actual harness on the child and checking that it's actually not too tight or too loose. Put 2 fingers under here, do the 2-finger test, a little bit of movement under the chest pads here, making sure that it isn't too tight or isn't too loose. We want to look at where the actual shoulder pads are coming up to. We want it to be in line with the child's shoulder.
Yeah.
Not dipping more than an inch or raising more than an inch, and ideally staying in line with the shoulder there.
Sure, sure.
And obviously in the winter, not putting too much clothing on,
Yeah.
so there's not too much padding in between the actual harness and the child's body.
Well, Sky has got plenty to say about it.
Definitely.
Well, it's all looking pretty good. Should we take a look at an ISOFIX one now?
Okay. Some cars have ISOFIX, and this is a new way of installing the child's car seat, which is safer and easier than previous ways.
Because you don't need the seatbelt, right?
Definitely, that's
okay.
right.
Should we put one in?
Yes, let's do that. Thank you. So each model varies ever so slightly in how it goes in. So we start on this side here, and we're just clicking in this point into the ISOFIX bar at the back, and you'll see it turns green on this side here. And we'll do exactly the same on this side, and make sure it goes green here. And then we'll go down to our drop-down foot and check that it's on the bottom of the floor here. It's not lifting the seat up, and it's not going down too low. And this again will turn green. So when we've got green here, here and here, we know our seat's in properly.
Excellent.
The only other thing we may need to do if we didn't have a drop-down foot was actually use our anchorage point, and that would go from the back here and then drop down behind the seat.
Okay, lovely. Now, I'm guessing we will be needing a seat here.
Yes, we will.
Okay, here we go then.
Thank you. Go that way. Now all we need to do is click the seat into place.
Wow, as easy as that.
It certainly is.
So, the key points are: go to a shop which has trained staff and check that one will be on hand when you arrive. This might sound a bit obvious, but go in the car you're going to fit the seat into. Make sure the seat is within the right weight range for your baby. Check it has an E-mark. Ask the trained expert to show you how to fit the seat in your car and to watch you fit it. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions when you fit the seat. Never fit a rear-facing baby seat in the front if there is an active passenger airbag. In fact, try to fit the seat in the rear at all times. Check it is securely fitted when you've finished. Don't forget to do this every time you use the seat to make sure that it is fitted correctly, especially if you're taking it in and out of the car all of the time or have tried to fit the seat quickly. It can sadly be too easy to accidentally fit a seat wrongly.